It's been quite a weekend here in central Indiana. You've probably heard about the flooding situation that we've been encountering here, and we've been getting a lot of questions from viewers and friends about our particular status. What's it like here at our area? We got about 6 inches of rain so far, and it still looks dreary and rainy this morning, so we're not sure.
Sprinkling when we came out.
Yeah, I think it's just set in, as Dad would say. It's going to rain all the time. So 6 inches of rain here, but we missed the center of it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the bigger rains were in Carmel, Noblesville, Broad Ripple. Along the White River right there is where the rains were the biggest. And just, you've seen a lot of the video clips from near our old house.
Yeah, we used to live in Carmel, so we know the areas that they're talking about on the news.
Recently, we've shown you some video, I believe, from a property there in Carmel that backed up to one of the creeks there in Carmel that feeds into the White River. And we've got this one photo. It's outside of that house. We've done a lot to build up the soil behind the house. Good thing we did.
Good thing, yeah.
And I think that's going to work out really well. They knew that was a floodplain there, so that's why there's nothing built in there.
And at this point, I don't think cleanup has really started yet. The river was still rising yesterday.
Right. We're shooting this on Monday. You'll see it on Wednesday morning. Now, as far as our yard and our progress, it's been very positive. Yeah, it looks really flooded here. You can see in this shot, and that's to be expected, right? We are in the low spot. We remain in the low spot. None of the stuff that we've done is going to keep us from, getting that kind of flood. What we can say is the work we've done this summer to reconnect that farm tile under our house, it's helped a lot. We don't have the big puddle of water in the back that's just continuing to be cycled through our sump pump. Our sump pump was running probably 25% duty cycle for the first 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. And the way you look here, you can see that the water table's just that high, right? It's just continually pumping, trying to keep it out. And I don't think we're going to be able to do anything about that. It is draining on down through the soybean field to our east here, and so yeah, that's working well.
Yeah.
The pond is keeping the water out. Notice how nice and blue the pond is, even though we've got muddy water around it.
Yep, as planned.
Yep, working as planned, but we use that laser to set the elevation there on the lip, you might say, or the rim of the pond, to make sure that it doesn't get outside water, and that way our fish don't get away and we don't have to take muddy water in to it. It did overflow, and what I mean by overflow is that it used the overflow pipe drained.
I think that's the first time.
Yeah, maybe the first time. It's certainly the first time that it's done it naturally. Now, before all of this rain occurred, we had been pumping water in from our well, and rather than just doing it in major stages where we would leave the faucet all the way open for a couple of days and then leave it off for 2 weeks and then open it up for a couple of days, we had just set it to just a trickle, right?
Yeah.
So it was just barely on, and we'd been running it that way most of the summer, and it worked really well. I wish we had a way to measure how much water we were putting in. I guess we need some sort of a flow meter there.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But it wasn't much. It was just a trickle we were putting in to maintain the pond level, and we were maintaining it about 4 to 5 inches below the overflow.
Yeah.
We turned that off after the first rains came, and we had probably 3 inches left. Well, we've got at least 4 inches after that, and that's when the pond started overflowing. Now, it was hard to tell during the worst of this flooding whether the water outside the pond was higher than inside, but we do have a check valve in that overflow.
Right.
And we did not see any muddy water, pushing back upwards through our overflow.
So the check valve's working.
Either the check valve's working or it never got quite high enough. And it's hard to know exactly which one. But overall, the plan appears to be working and working well. Now, as far as damages in Carmel and Broad Ripple and all that, we don't know a lot of details. We have reached out to some organizations trying to figure out if folks need help. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of floodwater cleanup. There's going to be a lot
Yeah.
of brush that has got up in people's properties and all, but it's not quite time yet to deal with that, right? I mean, the water's still up, so we'll have to continue to investigate that throughout the rest of this week. That's right up our alley, being able to get
Right.
some of that debris out of people's yards. That's something we could help with.
Even our yard's still squishy, and we didn't have the worst of it.
Right.
So we
Right.
wouldn't take a tractor out on our yard yet either.
Yeah, I mean, we'll show you our lawn desperately needs to be mowed. It's grown up in some places knee high. It needs to be mowed, but well, that's going to make a pretty good mowing video next week.
Right, exactly.
We do have some new mowing equipment we want to show, and maybe it'll be a good time for that. But meanwhile, we are not able to really work in our lawn at all, and I mean, that's no big deal.
Yeah.
We're not worried about
Right.
that. We're not upset about this at all. We're thankful that we've been able to keep our house dry, our crawl space dry, and we're praying for the folks that have been hit by the
Right.
flood.
If you are looking for a place to donate money or anything towards the cleanup, there's a really good organization that's actually headquartered in Noblesville, Indiana, which was a hard-hit area. It's called IDES, International Disaster Emergency Services, and their online website, they are set up already to take donations.
We'll put a link to that in the description. Yeah, it's a great organization,
Yeah.
and it doesn't work here just in Indiana. It works
Right.
worldwide. It just happens that they're located right in the center of this particular situation.
Right.
So that's one reason we like to work with that organization, is because they respond immediately to situations all over the world.
Yeah, especially
Working
natural
through-
disasters.
Working through the church.
Yeah.
And so they work through local congregations, local organizations to help just handle emergencies. And it works really well, very efficient the way they handle it. So we'd recommend that. Link in the description on that. Thanks for your concern, everybody. And hey, if you know of anyone that needs some help in our area,
Right.
yeah, let us know in a comment or reach out to us, tim@tractortimewithtim.com. We'd be happy to try to help someone get their property cleaned up after this situation. Meanwhile, the rain comes and the rain goes.
Yep.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on
Tractor Time with Tim.
I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. This is a new roundabout construction just down the road from our house. It's making good progress.